So there are the two eels that are hanging out in their cave. One turns to the other and he says, "Hey, weather looks beautiful outside. I'm gonna go try the water." The second eel turns to the first one and says, What's water?" My point is that there are these things that are all around us, just like Ukraine, just like the threat of climate risk, just like the threat of pandemic, that we don't see unless we have the skills to look at it, to understand more about the future than we would imagine. And we have to do that more and more and more often, because the future, it just keeps on coming. We can't plan for the past. We have to plan for things we cannot yet fully know. And if you do that, if you get good at that, there are more trillion-dollar opportunities in front of you than ever before. We're a wealthier species, we're a more connected species, we're a faster-moving species than ever before. This is the opportunity, this is our time to grow. So if you can see the future slightly more effectively, you don't have these problems. You need to learn, just like that eel, you need to learn how to see water. And there are 4 basic problems when we try to see the future. And what can we know for certain about the future? What do we know we don't know? What can't we know? And what can't we even imagine? These are the 4 basic problems. There are really only 4 of them when you're trying to figure out what happens next. And fortunately, there are 4 tools to understand what happens next as well. How do you think like a lawyer, right? What happens if you know all of the information? How do you prove something is true? You do it through deductive analysis, right? So lawyers are really good at that. How do you think like a scientist? How do you do inductive thinking, right? And this is the problem with COVID PR that we've seen again and again and again, right? Like new information comes to light, and so we think something else is true. So CDC looks like a bunch of flip-floppers, even though what they're doing is they're using the scientific method, they're using induction to try and understand what's going on around them. The third piece is thinking like an economist, or what's called Bayesian reasoning. How do you build a complex model of a situation, even though there might be black boxes in it, so that you can know if something changes in the Rube Goldberg, how it'll change the outcome. So this is how we do things like model inflation, model stock markets, model economic growth, model demographic shifts, and so on and so forth. It's a really powerful tool. And then the last piece is, how do you think like an artist, right? How many people have like someone trained in fine arts at the C-level of their organization? Like, okay, we got 1, 2, 2, 3. We got 3. Okay, this is going to be the most important skill. How do you do abductive reasoning of the next decade? How do you look at the future and ask, what would happen if something we know to be true suddenly wasn't? What if we found out in the next 5 minutes that a meteor was about to hit Austin? How would we behave differently? These are really important skills, all of them. But most companies, especially most leadership teams, they have tilted skill sets. And so you end up with tilted views of the future, limited views of what is possible, what can change.